Hey YouTube, keeping that Great League Remix train going. And this is a team that I tried, built around Guzzlord. And I think the thought process at the time was, uh, again, there's sort of 4 to 5 different called typings that are dominating this meta. Water, which Guzzlord as a dragon does great against. Um, Flying, which is kind of like neutral across the board. Steals, a little bit of trouble with some steals, but some of them are like Magnezone, so you resist the wild charge and stuff like that. So that, and you have crunch, so it's not a terrible matchup. What else did I say? Like steals, flyers, fighting's bad because you're dark, but you're bulky enough, so like maybe you can maneuver some stuff there. So that is why I started with Guzzlord double fighter resistance. So I started with Toxapex and Jellicent, a poison and a ghost to resist the fighting. Jellicent I'm finding is a pretty good safe swap in this meta because Jellicent handles almost all 4 of those things, right? It kind of handles, except for like Magnezone as a steal. It does well against like Empoleon as a steal, and then does well against flyers and does well against fighting, stuff like that. So I really like Jellicent. Tried Toxapex, didn't love it because of the Mud Boys plus Magnezone and stuff like that. So let's look at the battles to see how it fares out. Obviously, Jellicent is an amazing lead. They get out right away. Out comes a Steelix. I think maybe I ran into a couple like these and I was like, maybe I should just go Quagsire if I'm seeing so many Steelix, because Jellicent's a decent answer, but if it has Crunch, it still takes 2 Surfs to... Why do I always do that? Sorry. It takes 2 Surfs to take out here. So once they land that first Crunch, like if they wanted to, they could shield and now quite easily fight for switch, and that is exactly what they're going to do because these Dragon Tails are adding up. I will get to a second move because they could have thrown earlier, so they just definitely missed time there. So I'll grab a second shield, but they're probably going to fight for switch, and because Jellicent against Guzzlord is a terrible matchup. And at this point, I'm just like, okay, I would have preferred to keep that alignment, but I feel like Guzzlord with 2 shields, knowing that I'm just going to wall Jellicent, even if it's a fighter in the back, I feel like Guzzlord with 2 shields should take out the majority of the stuff anyways. So that's why I kind of let it go once that's kind of too low anyway. So that is why I did that. That is why I have not shielded anything. It is Magnezone, right? So there's your steal, but you can see these Dragon Claws adding up. Crunch is neutral, so this will chip a ton. I will shield any move here, and I still have a shield up for Jellicent. So that's the thing. I've shown earlier that even against these steals, because these steals are not Bastiodon, right? They're not, or even Skarmory, which can take a bunch of moves. They're not these bulky Pokemon. These are Magnezones and Empoleons, which are very, very, very classy in the Great League. So there really is a lot less worry from that perspective. So bad lead. There's your fighter. Come in here as a ghost to wall the fighter, but also this now. Annihilate is a tricky fighter, as it is Ghost in itself. You can live most bait Night Slash, because even baiting Night Slash is not bad because it does 50%. And I think a Shadow Ball does not one-shot. I think it does like 90% or something like that. Doesn't quite one-shot. I know that they're just probably going to throw it again. It's going to take me somewhat low. So I'm going to just get the Surf off. And again, I just grabbed 2 shields. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? I can probably do the exact same thing that I just did last time. Unfortunately, poison is resisted, so I'd have to poison resist all the way, which is why I think it just went Guzzlord. They give up switching to... I think they're like, oh, you're not going to come in that. I'm going to instant swap to save my Annihilate, but I think they instant swap blindly because I actually came in Guzzlord. Yeah, so after a couple with Toxapex here, I'm just like, I don't like this. I don't like this Pokemon. So I did maybe 4 battles with Toxapex, and then the rest I did with Quagsire. So that's what you're going to see. It's so funny how Toxapex broke onto the scene as an absolute wall to Azumarill to just like fall back down to nothing very, very quickly with the state of the meta with the Mud Boys and stuff like that. Snipe Hypno here with the Crunch, so we'll take that out. And then again, weak to counter, but your Dragon Tails really chip. Obviously counter is really chipping as well, but having more health, and you do get to the Dragon Claws pretty quick. Why is my Dragon Tail so high? My OCD will not allow that. Okay. Again, yeah, see, they get out because it's not a good matchup, that Magnezone. Because, like, I'm a dragon, so I'm resisting that move too. So I chip a bit, get some energy with Guzzlord, and then coming in here, basically to absorb just all these aerial aces. You are tanky as Toxapex, but so slow, right? These poison jabs are adding up. It takes a while, a really long time to get to the charge move. And if they, like, they're already on their third aerial ace, so if they shield one sludge, I'm going to lose switch here, which is very tough because I really don't want to lose switch against a Magnezone lead, right? And there it is. There's your shield. Now they're going to significantly outpace me here. I need to get a better Mantine IVs. I've got like a 12 attack. I don't like it. They go for the farm down and don't get it. So this may be the situation for the same thing where I just grab a bunch of shields and then just have to come in here. Come in Jellicent. Again, thought process is water move is resisted. They have to throw air laces. I know I'm kind of useless on the front, but I'm not useless if I get ahead on energy here. Because then if the Magnezone comes back and I have a Shadow Ball loaded, I'm going to take it out. So just getting ahead on energy. There's your Magnezone. I'm really surprised I did not throw a Shadow Ball there. Unless I'm reading something like I want to save that Shadow Ball for later. That's the only reason that you don't throw that Shadow Ball there. Because Shadow Ball basically, it probably should one-shot. And then I wouldn't have to burn a shield there. Unless I'm reading something like an Annihilate in the back there. And maybe that's what I did. Seems like they just got multiple counters through there because, you know, the game is lagging like crazy. Crunch is neutral. Dragon Claw is neutral. I did chip them down pretty low. I have a Surf. I'm going to lose CMP. So I need to shield up even a Night Slash. Oh, it's just a nice punch bait. I mean, it does matter. Night Slash would have taken me out. So I had to shield CMP on the Surf. This will take out. Have a little bit left for the Mantine. Just throw. It does not matter. They're at like 2 HP. So that's like the third straight time where I just like grab shields. This is a good lead. They give up into Steelix, and again, yeah, I'm gonna lose this one, and this is where I just like stupid Toxapex just not giving anything to me here, because I can't come in Toxapex as a poison, and then I'm like double fast moves resisted by steel, and there's a lot of steel in this meta right now, so get the Surf off. This will take out. So I do take out. Down a shield though, so that's not great. Mandibuzz is going to come back in and punish the crap out of me. And then they're going to have a shield advantage with whatever is in the back here. So yeah, we're going to have to see what's in the back, and I'm guessing it's not going to be good for me. So second Surf, they're just loading up with energy. Not surprising. Aerial Ace, not enough to take out, but they're just going to go for the aggressive farm down, have like multiple Dark Pulses coming out. Not that Dark Pulse is going to do anything to a Guzzlord, but I would not just be surprised if they just instant bank it and come in. And they come in with Carbink, which is really tough, just because it's so bulky, right? And Brine is a crap move. So Rock Slide is basically all they need, because the second one plus the Rock Throws will take me out. Brine, as you're going to see if they let this go, is pathetic. That is a stab. Super effective charge move that does absolutely nothing because it's got like a 1.3 damage per energy, and it's such a high charge move to get to. So absolutely terrible. I got a shield because I got to try and get a second Brine off, but then I'm just going to be so far behind on energy there, and then I'm going to get walled. So I don't know why I came in here. I should have just thrown the Brine and then come in here, but there's no chance. So I think this is when I was like stupid Toxapex and then I switched. So get that off, but now the Mana Buzz, because it has 100 energy, because it's just loaded up on the Jellicent. So good lead, as you can see the Quagsire in there. It's a good lead if they don't have Moonblast, and they're staying in and throwing. So I'm like, this may have Moonblast, and it does. And suddenly this becomes a much, much, much worse lead for me because they are doing super effective with those Moonblasts, double super effective with those Moonblasts. So I chip. I would not be surprised if I try and catch something here, and that's exactly what I do. I catch on a Jellicent. So catch the Moonblast. Out comes a Steelix. Steelixes are everywhere, man. So ahead on energy. Now we're even shields. They'll chip. Seem fast to the crunch. It was a crunch. Okay. Of course, that's how I play. I don't play based on counts. I play based on feel. That felt fast. It was not. But this is why Quagsire is now on the team. Because if I'm going to get killed by Steelix on the lead, I'm going to have an answer for it here. So I'm going to farm up here. And now I did not comment on it, but now I got to talk to Calm on Toast, who correctly called me out saying, didn't you like multiple times say that Aqua Tail was worse than Mud Bomb and that's why you didn't use it? Yes. 1, a man can grow. 2, I think there's 2 things at play here. The main one being this meta, right? So the question is like, when would you want to use Aqua Tail versus when would you want to use Mud Bomb? And in terms of, let me just actually bring out the stats for these two. Because they're very, very comparable in damage per energy. And I'll do it on a Shadow because I think the Shadow does make a significant difference. Because yeah, in Open Great League, Shadow is 7 and regular is 32. And it is because Aqua Tail, as you're I don't know if you're gonna see it in like, because I played the Sableye matchup, I played a couple other matchups. Aqua Tail from a Shadow does 2 Aqua Tails usually takes out because you have 111 attack with a 20% Shadow bonus, and with your fast move, with your charge move as a Shadow stab, the damage is 79.2 versus Mud Bomb, which is 86.4 for 1 more. And I think what it comes down to is the damage per energy on the Shadow is actually better, 2.26 to 2.16. So if you're looking at just a pure damage per energy, it's better. What I was looking at is there's not that much of a difference. Mud Shot is so fast. I'll get that extra damage. Plus, I think what I was thinking about when I said Mud Bomb is better was the state of the meta. And the state of the meta was, at the time, Poliwrath Lantern, right? So why I continue to say Mud Bomb was better was, I said if you're going to use a Mud Boy, you're using a Mud Boy primarily to answer Lantern. And why would you give away your 1 charge move to beat a Lantern? Lantern's not in this meta. And so why I think Aqua Tail is way, 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 way better in this meta is because the majority of the time you are hitting all things equal, giving up the, 7.2 damage, but being able to throw it 1 Mud Shot faster on the first time and 1 Mud Shot faster on the third time, right? So the fast move count is for Aqua Tail is 4, 4, 4, 4, and for Mud Bomb it's 5, 4, 5, 4. So all things equal, it takes 2 more Mud Shots to launch the Mud Bomb. So in terms of the damage per energy at 2.26 and then being able to launch them faster, I think all in all, you probably want Aqua Tail. The reason that I was so gung-ho on Mud Bomb was because Lanterns were everywhere. Poliwraths were everywhere. And if you get into the Poliwrath matchup, you have nothing to throw with Aqua Tail Stone Edge. And then you have to go Stone Edge against Lantern instead of super effective move. And I said my thought process in Open was like, if you're going to use a Mud Boy, just use it for the mud, like the mud part, right? There's other water Pokemon in the meta, like Feraligatr, that I would use for the water move. So that is why I continue to say, go Mud Bomb, go Mud Bomb, go Mud Bomb. And then you'll see, like a couple videos ago, I said, oh yeah, Aqua Tail's way better. So that's the Aqua Tail versus Mud Bomb discussion there. And again, I think all things even, just based on the spamminess. Actually, you can probably just do I could just do a matrix on PV Poke to see exactly what a Shadow Aqua Tail versus Shadow Mud Bomb does. And the records are significantly different. Whoa. Oh, that's not Shadow. That's why. I was like, why is there such a difference? It's because I put one Shadow and one not Shadow. Mud Bomb. Okay, still a difference, way less. So in open, 20 wins for the Aqua Tail and 17 for Quagsire. And it's so funny because I said Sableye, and I'm like, I played a couple of these matchups, so I know. And the difference between Mud Bomb and Aqua Tail is with Mud Bomb you beat Azumarill in the open, but then you lose to Annihilape, Gligar, and Sableye. And Sableye is the matchup that I've played here and know that it only takes 2 Aqua Tails plus Mud Shots to take it out, so I know that matchup. Gligar obviously is the obvious one. You're hitting super effective with 2 of them. So actually, it says Gligar and Shadow Gligar. So really, you're only picking up 3 Pokemon and losing 1. You're losing the Azumarill. Actually, let me max my stat products just to see if there's a difference here. Let me maximize my stat products to see if that affects anything here. Yep, 1 more loss with Mud Bomb against the Swampert. So if you maximize stat product, you pick up Whiscash with Mud Bomb, the Shadow Whiscash. Such an interesting. Okay, maximum stat product, Mud Bomb, Quagsire, picks up Shadow Whiscash but loses Annihilape, Gligar, Sableye, Swampert. Again, having played the Sableye, it makes sense. It makes sense on the Swampert too, because instead of going 4-4-4-4, you're now going 5-4-5-4, which is the same as Swampert, and Swampert is going to win CMP and just out Hydro Cannon you. So that makes sense there. The Sableye makes sense because you can take out with 2 Aqua Tails there. Gligar makes sense because it's super effective as opposed to Mud Bomb, which is resisted, so that's an obvious one. Where's the Lantern matchup? So the Lantern says you still... That's so close. Is that bait dependent? No, that's just going straight Stone Edge. It says just go straight Stone Edge, and then a Aqua Tail will leave you with 40 health, and just going straight Mud Bomb will leave you with 52 health. So that's actually a lot closer than I expected it to be. And that's not even baiting. That's just going straight Stone Edge. Is there anything else that is just like... Well, I've got to imagine that most... I guess the argument that people will make is that most steals where you do super effective also have... A lot of them have secondary typings that are weak to water. Bastiodon, steel, weak to water. Carbink, steel, weak to water. Steelix in this meta, weak to water. So there's a lot of steals here. So like Registeel, you still win both because you're a Mud Boy, but you dominate it with Mud Bomb. But yeah, just a couple of those matchups that you flip just based on the pace of Aqua Tail. Anyways, so that is it. Yeah, stay tuned for more videos. We got a few more teams. If you want to submit any teams, link in the description. And that is it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.